Hello again, Braves fans. Jason and Mike coming to you with a new episode of the 9521 Atlanta Baseball Podcast. And we have a little bit of ground to cover tonight. So, welcome back to all of our listeners. We appreciate you tuning back in as we continue to move towards the season. And, Mike, we finally got some real quote unquote baseball, some spring training, 3 games in the books so far. It was good to just to hear some baseball. Listen to a little bit on the radio Saturday. It was just good to hear some ball.
Yeah, no, I listened to it on the 680 app on my way home from work, and I was like, it's just good to hear the crack of the bat. Just like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. I listen to 680. If you guys out there, if you have trouble finding the Braves on the radio, the 680 app is a lifesaver. You can listen to them anywhere you go. Our absolutely jacked play-by-play guy, Ben Ingram,
Yep.
probably the most in shape, fit play-by-play guy in baseball for sure. Good to hear his voice. And of course, Joe Simpson, who's been around for a very long time now on the Braves broadcasts. It's good to hear his voice as well. I think Joe's got to be pushing 103 by now. But yeah, it was a nice, pleasant Saturday afternoon listening to some baseball, and the Braves won that game. So even better. Not that it matters that much this time of year, but just a couple takeaways there, Mike. I know me and you messaged back and forth. Yastrzemski homered in his first at bat as an Atlanta
Yep.
Brave, so you can always take that, spring training or not. And then Ben Gamble knocked one out as well. So pretty good start for those guys, and the offense looked pretty good again for what it was in spring training. Some highlights I've noticed, and if I missed something you saw, just please let me know, Mike. But those two guys, I know that Nacho Alvarez had an RBI double. I think that was today. And what else did we miss? Oh, Acuna hit a ball that should have been about 3 states away and somehow ended up being a single. He absolutely clocked that baseball. I don't know how that ball didn't get out of the ballpark.
I think he was shocked. I'm pretty sure the bench was shocked. Like, yeah, I don't. Off the bat, I was like, that's absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, he
Nope,
killed the ball.
somehow comes off like the top of the wall. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, I think the wind was blowing in pretty hard, if I understood correctly, so that probably had a lot to do with it. Pitching wise, I know Chris Sale pitched a couple scoreless innings, had 3 strikeouts. Looked like Chris Sale. I don't even think he was hitting top velocity, which is good. He doesn't need to be right now. J.R. Ritchie, who we're going to talk a little bit more about later, one of our prospects, he pitched a couple scoreless. I feel like I'm missing something important, but yeah, some good signs early on. I mean, obviously the coaching staff's a little different, so hopefully we'll see a little bit different offensive approach from the Braves. But of the 3 spring training games they've played so far, they're 2-1 now after beating Baltimore today as we record this on Monday. The regulars only really played in the middle game of that. They had Acuna, they had Olson, Riley played. Acuna's long single was the highlight. I think Olson maybe had a double as well. So some good signs early, but of course it's early. We don't know anything at this point. It's just good to see some baseball. One thing we wanted to talk about tonight, Mike, was what Braves could bring home some of the awards this year, the postseason awards, and obviously MVP is always a big topic. Knock my microphone over. Um, we talked about this on Rounding Third show last night, Mike, the MVP favorites. I think it's pretty obvious, but I want to get your take before I say, who are the players on the Braves you think could compete for the National League MVP?
I think Acuna is an obvious one. Olsen also somewhat obvious. I would love to see Riley have at least an MVP-like season, because we need some production out of him. Um, I think that's really basically it from what I can think of if we were lucky, maybe Michael Harris, but probably not.
Well, I'd love to see that. Oh, I
Yeah.
think I think you're right. I think you covered. Yeah, I think Riley's a big dark horse. I mean, he's going to have to get back to 2022, 2023 Riley. But, I think one of our cohorts last night on Rounding Third picked Olson as their MVP. Um, we all did that with the caveat of we kind of know Shohei's probably going to win it, but we were trying
Yeah.
to pick somebody other than Shohei. And yeah, I think one of them picked Matt Olson. I would love to see him or Ronnie, do that. Olson has been a steadfast, consistent player for the Braves, and I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. But if the Braves get back to the postseason, they win the division, and he has an impressive season, I don't think it's out of the question. but I think he'd have to get back to a 50 homer type season, over
Yeah.
100 RBI. He's not a batting average guy, but I think he'd have to hit 260, 265 with those kind of numbers. He might could do it. And then we know what Acuna is capable of. We know he's capable of another 40-40 type season, maybe more. Obviously, the legs may not be what they used to be, but I think he's still capable of doing a 30-30, 40-40 type season. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it all revolves around how good the Braves are. I probably didn't make any friends with our audience who may have tuned in to Rounding Thirds preview show last night. I feel a little better today after picking them to finish third. I know that's not going to help our ratings probably. But I just the injuries to Schwellenbach and Waldrop really kind of bummed me out. But we do have some depth there. I
We
think we
do.
can survive provided this offense clicks. So if Ronnie and Matt can be MVP type players, whether they can actually win the award or not, then maybe the offense carries this. I saw an interesting, or I heard, there's so many things on social media. I think I actually read this that our top innings, our our fourth top innings pitched in 2023, Mike, was Michael Tonkin. Okay, and we won 103 games that year. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's when the offense was clicking. So that's to say, hey, the offense can carry this thing, especially if we can get Schwellenbach and Waldrop back, say mid-season or before. But they're going to have to go back to hitting like they did in 2023. So we'll have to see. Let's talk about Cy Young. We were talking about this before we started. Schwellenbach, I think, was shaping up to be a Cy Young type candidate. So depending on how much time he actually gets to pitch this year, we'll see. Other than that, obviously, it's Chris Sale. Can he take home a second in 3 seasons? At his age, that would be a heck of an accomplishment. I think he's capable. He looked good in his first
Yes.
spring start. He wasn't even hitting max velocity. So, any thoughts there around Chris Sale's possibilities, or do you think Grant Holmes might be a Cy Young candidate?
I don't think Grant's gonna pull off a Cy Young
I don't either. Yeah, I
season.
don't either. Yeah.
Uh, Strider could maybe. I mean, if he can pitch and he can
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
but
That's a good point. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Schwelly did look like someone who probably could pull that off. But yeah, right now, unless Strider has an outstanding season, I'm thinking it's just Chris Sale that's got the shot at it.
Yeah. And I hope this is true. I think probably ourselves and a lot of baseball people are maybe we're short selling. I'm not saying he's Cy Young material, but maybe we're short selling Lopez because, 2 years ago, he was, if not our best pitcher, our second best pitcher, I guess, behind Chris Sale, coming out of the bullpen. Like he was a bullpen guy. They made him a starter again. He'd been a starter before, and he was lights out that season. If he can get back to form after the injury, obviously not saying he's probably a Cy Young candidate, but we really need him and Grant Holmes to perform to give us a shot until we can get one or two of those guys back. And we'll talk more as we go along about the fifth and sixth spot. We talked a little bit about that last week, shaping up to be Bryce Elder, maybe Joey Wentz. I saw today too, Mike. You probably saw we got 13 straight games to start the year, no off days. So
Oof.
six-man rotation is not out of the question. So right now, Mark Bowman actually thinks we'll get Wentz and Elder as part of the 26 man to start the season at least. Neither one of those guys have options apparently. So they're either on the roster or they're off the team basically. They have no minor
Yeah.
league options. So I don't think that's a bad thing. Early in the season, let's survive those first few games. Let's see how the offense is playing. I don't. I was thinking he would. Now I don't think Double A is going to make a move for a starting pitcher. I saw Ken Rosenthal said it doesn't appear that he's super interested in Giolito or Littell. So it looks like we're riding with Elder and Joey Wentz as we head into the season.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I mean, yeah, if it doesn't, I saw the same thing. Like he started stating that he wasn't interested in adding anyone else. I'm like, okay, I guess Elder's our fifth.
Yeah, I mean, look, Elder's a gamer. He'll get you innings. And again, if the offense can back him up, you can survive a 3 or 4 run outing if you can get some offense. So it is what it is at this point. I'm sure if we find out that Schwellenbach and Waldrop neither are coming back anytime soon, then a move will still be made, hopefully. Or maybe J.R. Ritchie, who we'll talk about here in just a minute. Maybe he comes up and gives us some depth. Another big announcement this week, Mike, in the last couple of days was Walt Weiss saying that Acuna will move back to the leadoff spot. Um, that's where he's comfortable. He wants to do that from what I've read. And I have some mixed feelings about it. I know he's succeeded there. He's done very well in that spot. He's 297 in that spot, 37 home runs, leadoff. He's got a long way to go to catch Ricky Henderson, who's I think 81, I believe.
Yeah. If he's on
Uh,
81, he's right up there. He's right. I
he's
knew
right
he was
up
in
there.
the
He's in
80s.
the 80s. Yeah. So, a long way to go for that, but he could do it if he stays in that leadoff spot. I like him in the leadoff spot. He jumps on pitchers. He's good at that. We saw him do it the other day, obviously. We saw him do it his first at bat, his first swing back from injury last year. He knocks one out. He's unbelievable when he's on. Here's an argument I heard earlier, though, Mike. I don't know if you saw this clip from Chris Domino on 680. Domino and Nick Cellini, of course, Atlanta sports legends. Domino was saying, he likes Acuna in the leadoff spot, but if you think about those 37 home runs, of course, being leadoff home runs are always solo shots.
Yeah.
That's 37 runs. What if he had batted second or third and somebody was on base in front of him? And his argument was really not so much that maybe he shouldn't bat leadoff, but the eighth and ninth guys in that order have got to find ways to get on base. Last
Yeah.
year, Michael Harris hit ninth a lot, and he was just mostly terrible. It's looking like they want to put, to start the season at least, Dubon would be our ninth hitter. Um, Not sure where we're going to go with eighth, but apparently they would like to get Harris further up in the lineup from what I've read. So I agree with Domino. Those guys got to get on base and give Acuna a chance to hit a 2-run, 3-run homer every now and then instead of a bunch of solo shots there. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if he's comfortable in the leadoff spot, why not have him there? I loved him and Ozzy back to back a couple of years ago, but I mean, if they don't like it, I think I heard he's thinking maybe either Baldwin or Olsen too. I don't like Olsen too. He should
I agree.
be third or fourth is my thought. Um, so I don't have a problem with Baldwin hitting second, but um, yeah, so the 8 and 9 hitters should definitely be trying to get on. Don't
Get on base. Yeah.
yeah, don't need to hit bit dingers. Just
Yeah.
get on, draw a walk, slap one just over the middle infielders and get on base so Acuna can drive you in.
Yeah, absolutely. Take one for the team. If you got to get hit in the ribs a couple times, get hit in the ribs a couple times, right?
Yeah,
Just get on base. So yeah, depending on who comes up in that ninth spot, I mean, obviously we're waiting on Hassan Kim to come back, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I saw this too. The Braves are playing at a 60% nearly win clip with Acuna in the lineup. All right, so that's a 96 win pace if you play that out during a 162 season. So all that to say, just having him in the lineup is important. So we need to keep
yeah,
him healthy. If he gets some days off, if he does some DHing, I'm fine with that. Whatever we got to do to keep that guy healthy, because 60% win clip with him in, that's not an accident. And I've seen some absolutely silly comments from Braves fans about he's not a winner. We don't need him because of course they were mad because he admired his long single that everybody, including his teammates in the dugout, thought was a home run. That kind of gets tiresome. But yeah, I mean, 60% win clip's not an accident, Mike. You take him out of that lineup, it's a completely different team. And yeah, they won the World Series in 2021, quote unquote, without him. But it took 5 players to replace him, honestly. It took
yeah.
a lot of players to step in for him. So, yeah, whether he hits first, whether he hits second, cleanup, whatever, as long as he's in there, I'm good with it. And honestly, I do feel comfortable with him in that leadoff spot. I just want our eighth and ninth hitters to be able to get on base.
Yeah, and I have no problem with him DHing every once in a while. Put Yastrzemski
Yeah,
in right, Profar in left, and have him DH a few games. That way, save his legs. I don't have a problem if he doesn't steal 30 bases. If he wants to steal, 20, 25, that's fine. So that we don't have to worry about your ACL getting blown out every year.
exactly. Yes. Yeah, I think you'll probably see that. We've got flexibility, especially once Hassan Kim comes back and
Yeah.
assuming health for everybody else. You got Dubon, you got Yastrzemski, you got him, you got Profar. I've seen Profar early in the spring or before we really started spring. I saw Profar in that second slot, but since then I've seen it more Baldwin, kind of that guy. I think he batted second in the game the other day. So yeah, I like Baldwin in that spot as long as he keeps hitting like he has. He did have a home run already in the spring, so hopefully that continues. Um, let's talk about let's talk about the guys that could help us out. And we were talking about this before we started recording, but obviously J.R. Ritchie's the guy that we've discussed a little bit. He's had one outing. He pitched right after Sell the other day. He pitched 2 innings scoreless. I think he walked one, maybe struck out one. What I read was he was showing, I didn't get to watch that, but I heard that he was showing 6 different pitches in that game, Mike, and he was showing some really good stuff. That might be the guy, assuming he can stay healthy, that could come up and give us that depth piece. If we're going to be without Schwelly and Waldrop for a while, I want to see the kid pitch. I really haven't seen him yet, so the next time he's due to start, if it's on TV, I'm really going to try to catch it because I've heard some amazing things about G.R. Ritchie.
Yeah, I'll have to check highlights and stuff like that because I mean I don't have the ability to see every game as of right this second because we don't even know when it comes to the locally you guys are fine, but nationally like I what is that Gray TV is that what's going on down there right now at least?
Yeah, I don't even know, honestly. I know that I think Saturday's game was on MLB Net or MLB TV,
Hmm.
but I was not in a position to watch it. I did read earlier today that um, the Braves are expected to announce a TV deal for this year. It's going to be a pay-per-view kind of thing. But yeah, hopefully that's coming soon. I was trying to find that article on J.R. Ritchie. But yeah, hopefully we get something soon. I'll pay for it, whatever it is. I mean, I'm going to watch the Braves. So
Yeah.
if it costs me a little extra, I'll cut out some of my Starbucks spending or something and offset it. But I've got to see the Braves when they're on TV. And
Cut out a little bit of the Starbucks, not a little bit of the bourbon.
well, yeah, priorities, Mike. Priorities.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I was trying to find that because I mean it was really good. It might have been Bowman again. Mark Bowman's a great follow on Twitter. He's kind of an ass, but he's got some great Braves news on Twitter or X, whatever we call it these days. Um,
I've
see if I can
seen
find
a
that.
couple of people giving him a bunch of shit
Yeah, he's kind.
on X. Yeah.
I think he's a jackass on purpose because other people are jackasses to him. But yeah, he's a good follow though, just for Braves news. Just ignore the other stuff. Um, yeah, Richie pitched 2 innings, one walk, one strikeout. That was really kind of the only. We haven't seen much of Heel yet. Me and you were looking at this earlier. He's 0 for 2, it looks like, so far in the spring. Nothing to really write home or worry about there. You mentioned that Lodisi played a little shortstop. I saw a
Yep.
highlight. He made an amazing. You sent it to me. Made an amazing play out there. So I think the Braves have been a little light in the farm system, especially with position players. I think you notated that in a message to me earlier. Um, but we've got some guys, we got some players that either they're going to have to step up at some point, or maybe they're trade bait at some point if we need to
Yeah.
get a proven major leaguer to help us get to the postseason or win in the postseason. Um,
I, I
yeah,
can
go
definitely see us trading more of the position players. I feel like we're very pitcher heavy in the minors.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Heel is our he's getting a lot of attention in the spring. And there's a lot of buzz if you watch Twitter. I don't know that much about him either yet. I mean, I haven't got to see him play, but I saw somebody compare his body type to Willie Adam. Was it Willie Adamas? Maybe it wasn't Willie. Well, they were comparing his play, his speed, and his overall game to Rafael Furcal. So that's not terrible. We'll take that.
I think he's much
Furcal
bigger.
was he's
Furcal was
bigger.
like 5'7". Yeah.
That's what they were saying. Yeah, he was built like it was Wilson Bettman. It was
Oh,
Bettman,
okay.
and but plays like Rafael Furcal. So that could be a dangerous combo. We'll take
Yeah,
that. I
I'll
mean, if
take
he
it.
can, we'll definitely take that. So we'll keep an eye on him as the spring goes along because really the Braves could use that extra depth piece there, or like I said, maybe a little trade bait to dangle out there for another starter if we end up needing one. And then Didier Fuentes, who came up last year and bless his heart, mostly got bombed, but was kind of shoved into that role. Probably not the best um, spot for him to come up last year. We just needed somebody to kind of eat some innings.
We needed a body.
Hopefully, yeah, absolutely. And hopefully he learned from that. I would love to see him in the spring a little bit, see if he did learn a little bit from that. Because again, if him and Richie can be really anything at all, give us some innings. That would be huge until we get our guys back. So those are the three guys that I would look out for right now, Mike. And of course, we'll watch as spring goes along. Maybe Ludisi gets some more playing time. We get to see more of him. I'm sure we got more pitchers down there because that's all we drafted for about 4 years with
Yeah.
pitchers. And then last year we drafted like four shortstops, including Ludisi. So we'll see how that goes. Anybody else that you've heard of or caught your eye so far, Mike?
No, I was just looking at Fuentes's
Yeah,
last year, 13.85 ERA, gave up 20 runs in 13 innings. So yeah, absolutely bombed while he was up here.
yeah,
Um,
not great. Yeah,
let me look at the thing I had sent you because it was so pitcher heavy that we had. It was insane. Our top one, two, three, five of our top seven ranked players were pitchers.
yep. Yeah, I mean, look, we do have some depth there if they develop. I was also looking here. So Bowman was saying, obviously if we have Wentz and Elder as kind of the fifth and sixth starters, then we go with seven relievers: Iglesias, Suarez, Tyler Kinley, Dylan Lee, Bummer, and Joel Payamps. But also you could get Ian Hamilton, Dylan Dodd, Daysbel Hernandez into that mix. Uh, that's not a bad. We talked about that earlier when we first started the podcast back. That's a pretty good bullpen. I mean, I feel
Yeah,
pretty good with that bullpen. There are going to be nights we probably throw something at the TV, like when Bummer's in there, but for the most part, I feel like they can shut that door late if we have a lead. That's going to be key for us. I wish I could find that article on Richie because it was really good. I'm terrible at research sometimes. Um, but yeah, I mean, look, I'm feeling a little better than I was when I made that prediction last night for the Braves to finish third in the division. I'm still skeptical just because I want to see this offense click. I want to see the guys hit the ball. And until I really see that on a consistent basis, I'm probably going to stay a little pessimistic, but I am feeling a little better, Mike. I mean, Acuna at the top. Let's just say we go Baldwin second. What, Riley maybe third, Olson cleanup. After that, I'm not
Profar.
sure. Profar probably fifth. Um,
Probably Ozzy, I would think, and
Ozzy,
then
yeah, you're right. Yeah, sixth. Yastrzemski seventh if he's in. Well, he probably won't play with Profar though.
no, you might DH.
Well, one could DH, yeah. So it's
Yeah,
seventh, and then who are we missing?
probably
Obviously,
Harris, and then whoever's
Guzman.
banking.
Yeah. So that would be the bottom of that's going to be very interesting. If Harris was a guy who could draw walks,
Yeah,
I'd put him in that ninth spot for sure, but he's not.
no,
So I might move Harris up a little bit, maybe drop Ozzy down a little more because Ozzy can get on base.
yeah, he can draw a walk. He doesn't have a problem
Yeah,
drawing a walk.
yeah. Even though he loves to swing at that first
He does.
pitch, he's a first pitch guy. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, the spring is that's what this is for. It's for us to watch for these kind of things, lineup construction and young guys and how are the veterans looking. But really, you can't take a lot into the regular season from that. I've seen guys have absolutely horrible springs and then come out like gangbusters in the regular season, and vice versa. I am interested to see Ozzy. I think that's a good name to bring up since we touched
Yeah,
on him. Ozzy needs a bounce back, and there's something about he's had that. I'm gonna somebody pronounced it last night on rounding third. I had it completely wrong. The hamate bone, hamate. I don't know what it is. Hamate. I know that.
yeah,
Hamate.
hamate,
Hamate.
hamate.
That seems to be a popular injury this year. I know Jackson Holiday has that. Francisco Lindor has that. Ozzy's
Um,
had it twice in the last couple of years.
Corbin Carroll too. That's the
Corbin
other one. That's
Carroll, that's right. So hopefully, no more hamate, hamate bone injuries for Ozzy.
hamate.
Hamate.
Think
I,
of
I'm having a hard time with that. Ham ate, like a ham ate. I ate a ham.
yeah. There you go, hamate.
Yeah.
Just
Oof.
faster, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I think that's in your wrist, and I think he's been hit in that same spot twice.
yeah.
So I don't know why on earth these players don't. I mean, surely the technology we have, can we come up with a pad that doesn't inhibit their ability to swing? Like, come on, guys.
I mean, they have padding for everything else, so why not? Exactly.
Exactly. You remember Barry Bonds used to wear basically body armor.
Yeah,
Like Bonds was like Ozuna wore quite a bit of
Bagwell did too.
Bagwell for sure. Yeah. So come on, guys. Let's
Did
protect
you?
the hamate bone. Got it. I got it that time. I got it. Yeah, so a healthy Ozzy who's swinging the bat pretty well. He doesn't have to be a 300 hitter. If
No,
Ozzy's hitting 270 and hitting some home runs, we'll take that. I'm excited about Yastrzemski. I know it was one home run, first at bat. It's spring. It's off probably some guy who'll be bagging groceries in a few weeks, but there's something about that guy, the flexibility he adds to the lineups. He's got some power. He wasn't terrible. He's not going to be a 270 type hitter. He's a 230, 240 type guy. But if he
yeah,
can give us 20 home runs and decent defense out there,
I'll
I'll
take
take
it.
it over what we've had in left field for most of the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I like that platoon with Profar, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, any other early observations you got, Mike?
I did love. I just saw this. I think it was this morning. Ozzy making a jumping catch to
Yes.
and Acuna giving him hell in the back. He's like,
Yes.
"Oh, I wouldn't have had to jump." Basically, like that's
Right.
what I
Right.
got from from it. He's like, "I just would have like caught it like right here." I say,
Those two guys, if they get separated, it's going to be one of the saddest days in baseball in
"Oh
Braves
God, yeah,
history. They're so good together.
yeah."
We talked a
They're
lot. Yeah, no, it's those two. They've been fun to watch. I hope they don't get broken up. We talked a lot about, um, you know, Acuna last week, and should the Braves go ahead and extend him, or how that's going to work. Ozzy, I mean, I'll just be honest, Mike. I think Ozzy's gone after this year. I don't think they're going to extend. I don't think they're going to bring him back. Um, so let's enjoy him this year and see what happens. Um, I was looking at an article here too from Bowman about Schwellenbach and Waldrop. Obviously, Waldrop is the one they think could return sooner. Still no real timelines here. I mean,
yeah. I
I know
haven't
they
seen a
put
timeline for
put
either.
him on the 60-day IL, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, it means minimum 60 days, but that's about all that means.
But I mean, if you backdate it to the beginning of February, that's essentially the beginning of what, May?
Yeah, yeah,
To
but most of what I've
maybe not
read
even.
believes Wellenbach will be out longer than that.
Yeah,
Hopefully, Waldrop, he had those loose bodies you talked about, which just sounds terrible.
yeah.
Nobody wants loose bodies in their body. Um, yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. As far as where we head from here, the Braves, like I said, they're 2-1 so far in the spring, which doesn't mean a whole lot. Remember, they kick off the season March 27th in Atlanta. I think it's the first time in a couple of years they've opened up at home. They're going to take on the Royals, who a lot of people are picking to be a really good team. I think I had them pick second last night in our predictions in
I
the
did too.
Central Division. Bobby Witt Jr. It's a great opportunity to see Bobby Witt Jr. if you're in the Atlanta area. You hadn't seen Bobby Witt play before. Me and my wife are going to try to go to opening night, even though I have a feeling it's going to be quite chilly on March 27th. We'll see.
I don't want to hear chilliness from you.
But look, man, one of the coldest games I've ever been to in Atlanta, opening home weekend. I'm pretty sure they started on the road the year after we won the World Series, 2022. I wanted to be there for the first game and the ring ceremony and the
Yeah,
banner and all that. So I was there, and it was frigid. It was frigid. Charlie Morton pitched, and he had a great grip on the ball that day because nobody could hit him. But yeah, it was so cold, and I actually think we lost the first game that year. I think the Reds beat us. I think I was at the first two games, but yeah, it was cold. I know it's not Boston cold, Mike. I get it, but hey, look, if
as
we end up
as I'm sitting here digging out of a blizzard
right, yeah,
tonight, yeah,
yeah, as I've mentioned, my son is also living up there, and he sent me videos. It looks like, it looks like Antarctica, honestly, to me. Like that's not something I want to mess with. But for Atlanta, it could be cold, but we're it's all but done. We're pretty much going to go, probably that first game and the second game. And if I go, hey guys, if you're listening and you're in the Atlanta area or you plan on going to that game on opening night, please let me know. Message us on Facebook or email me at baseballromantic77@gmail. Would love to meet up with you and say hi and buy you a beer or a hot chocolate, whatever it calls for that night, and talk some baseball. So, looking forward to that, Mike. Hopefully, we got to get you down to Truist too, buddy. You got to come down and check out
I
Truist.
would love to. I would
Yeah,
absolutely love to. The
we
last
got.
time I was in a Braves stadium, it was Turner Field, and they weren't even there. And the last game I saw down there was Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
Wow. Yeah, we
Yeah,
really got to get you down to Truist. I've been to all three. I have a deep and abiding love for Fulton County Stadium just because it's the first place I ever saw a ball game. And went to Turner Field many times, but I know I have. I've been to Truist probably three times as many times as I ever went to Turner Field and Fulton County combined. So I'm there quite a bit because I just absolutely love the place. Love it. Love the atmosphere. Love the battery. We got to get you down there and have a couple beers. And hopefully watch a really good Braves team play. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So, look, we got a lot to talk about as the season comes around. We're getting closer and closer. We got to get to the WBC. I believe Acuna and Ozzy are both playing in that. I know Acuna is playing for Venezuela,
Yeah.
and I believe Ozzy is going to play for is it the
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard they were both taking extra batting practice. They take their ball really seriously. People that dog Acuna for the showboating, they don't understand how much that kid loves baseball and how hard he works. He's been out there taking extra batting practice. I think he really wants to perform well in the WBC. And I think he wants to come back with a vengeance this year. I think all the Braves want to come back with a vengeance this year offensively and show that last year was an anomaly.
Yeah, I feel like everyone really had a down year, and if they weren't injured, and I feel like yeah, they all want to come back and be like, no, no, this is our division, and that's why like I felt somewhat comfortable picking them to win the division on rounding third last
I'm
night.
so glad you did. I'm so glad you did because I felt so terrible not picking them. But I almost felt like I'd be a jinx because I've picked I think I mentioned this to you. I picked the Texas Rangers to go to the World Series the last 2 years, and they haven't sniffed the World Series the last 2 years. So I'm like, I'm not jinxing my boys. I'm not jinxing the Braves by picking them. So I'm really glad you did because I didn't have to that way.
Yeah.
So I did pick the Braves third, but deep in my heart, I'm not really sure I believe that they're going to finish third. But I did make a bet with Nick for all our listeners. If you don't listen to Rounding Third, please listen to Rounding Third Baseball. Fantastic guys, Nick and
They're
Harrison.
great.
They have live shows where they do some awesome trivia on Facebook and the podcast. I mean, they have great guests. Well, obviously, they have the great guests. We were on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But he said that he thinks the Braves might finish behind the Marlins, which, in fairness, they did last year. But if they do it again, I told him I would buy him a jersey of his choice. So, you know where I messed up on that, Mike?
Well,
We didn't say what he has to do for me if the Braves do finish ahead of the Marlins. So I kind of screwed that up. I guess
no, but I did say that more than likely I'll be hosting the 9521 myself if
that's
the
right.
Marlins beat,
That's
beat us
right.
out again.
I agree. If the Braves are trending towards fourth in the division again, Mike might be on his own for the 9-5-2-1. No, I promise. I'll stick it out. I'll be here regardless. Rain or shine or rain or snow in Boston. We'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be a fun season. Hopefully, it gets off to a really good start. Kansas City is a tough opponent to open it up, but we're not on the West Coast. We're not going to LA and San Diego to start it off. So I'm looking forward to it. We're still about a month away. We got plenty of shows in between. I would love to hear from some of our listeners. I was looking at it. We're building. We got a few more followers we picked up over the last couple of weeks on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So keep telling your family, your friends, your cousins, your baby mamas, whoever it is that love the Braves. Please tell them to follow the 9521. Just a couple of regular Braves fans, man. We're not trying to say we know any more than anybody else, but we sure enjoy talking about our Braves. So, Mike, anything you want to add before we wrap up another fantastic episode?
No, second when it comes to listening to rounding third, they're a great bunch of guys.
Absolutely.
They're actually the reason that I'm basically on this podcast now,
Yeah.
because without them giving me a chance to go on theirs like a couple times and do some fun stuff, I wouldn't have gotten connected with Jason. So I just
Yeah.
love them for it.
So I blame them. All right, I
Yeah,
got it. I blame them.
sure,
Got it. Yeah.
correct.
No, look, we're fortunate to work with a bunch of great guys that love baseball, and we're happy to plug them. They plug us. We built a little community of just small baseball content creators and podcasters, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it. So I'll go ahead and plug our other podcasts real quick. We've got the regular Romantic About Baseball podcast. We're trying to keep a weekly episode going. We had one last week with Bruce and you and Josh Kermy. You were there. You were there in spirit.
For
Some of it,
I was there for like 10 minutes. Yeah.
right? But look, we're going to make that really consistent during the season. We had ball with it last year, rotating cast of characters, but mostly the same guys that you'll hear every week talking about the current game. I'm looking forward to Mike to a new historical series. The White Sox series was really popular. The Black Sox coming up soon. I'm working on the 1970s baseball MLB in the 1970s. Some absolutely wild stories from MLB during that time. Some great stuff. Big Hair and Plastic Grass is one of the books I'm reading by Dan Epstein to prepare for that. So if you like baseball history, check that book out. It's fantastic. It's funny. It's a great look at the state of baseball in the 70s. Of course, our podcast, which we're kind of partial to here, the Braves, the 9521. And our buddy Nico has a new podcast coming. I got to get the details from him on where to find that and when. But Nico, who's one of our regulars on the RAB podcast, is starting his own podcast called Diamond Talk. And we're looking forward to hearing that. So I'll get some details from him before our next episode and share those out to folks. And in the meantime, keep following us on Facebook. We have the Facebook page, which is we just crossed 65,000 followers, Mike. So that's about 64,999 more than I ever thought I'd get on a Facebook page. So we're having a lot of fun with that. Yeah, so just a lot of great content on Facebook, trying to expand out on Twitter, trying to expand out on Instagram, and even dipping my toe into the mysterious world of TikTok, which I'm going to have a lot of help from my teenage daughters to get that one going. But we'll see how it works out. Mike, thanks for coming on again, and looking forward to. I'm trying to think in my head. We may have to take a hiatus next week. I'm going to be in Denver for a sales meeting. The regular job calls, unfortunately. So unless you want to get a guest host, or if you feel like you can do it on your own, Mike, we'll talk about it off the
We'll
air.
see.
See what happens. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in, Braves fans. Keep spreading the word. We love you, and we'll see you soon at the ballpark.